good is it? Welcome back into the Ford League Lounge Season 2. What about the NO team? Keep it going, please. For my guests, Monty, Betham and the Warriors CEO, Cameron George. Oh, yeah, I know. The jacket has stolen everyone's hearts already. But, Mons, before we get to that, I want to come to you.
Sure.
The off-season, the summer, you're glowing, you're never not.
Yeah.
How was it for you, brother?
Long. It was long.
Yes.
Because that's how much I love the game of rugby league and obviously seeing your show and being on your show. So, but there was a little bit of sun in between and I managed to get a little bit of that, mate.
What did it consist of for you? Hang on. Look at the graphics that have popped up here. What have we got there?
Alters.
Hey, looks like Mons did enjoy his break team.
Is someone watching me?
Can we read this, crowd? Can you read
spot
this,
on.
please? Bears drunk, 43. Hang on now. Noise complaints, 12. Insta stories, he is a man of Instagram. 57 and a couple of giant biceps.
He's drunk per night? No, that's not me. Once upon a time, I had 2 giant biceps, not anymore.
Crowd, does he have big biceps? Let me know. Yeah! Okay, let's park that right there. That's enough. Calm down. Cam.
Shaun.
Geez, speaking about off-seasons, an absolute treat to have you on the couch.
Yes.
You must be itching to get this season going.
Yeah, mate, it's so exciting to be back here a week out from our first game. And, look, the boys are excited. They've been training hard. The coaches are excited. Just the whole staff, the fans. We sold out today, so got the best fans. Just, you know, it's just going to be so great to be at Go Media this Friday.
Yep. OK, let's get stuck into this now. This was a work-on for us here at the League Lounge after last season, team. We like to warm our guests up with a little bit of a quick-fire series.
Yep.
OK, so I've got a few questions here to throw at you. Let's go. Mum and Dad, where are they from?
Casino in northern New South Wales.
OK, beautiful part of the world, I guess. What would you be doing if you weren't the Warriors CEO?
Probably coaching the Warriors.
Off the back of that?
I tell Webby that all the time.
Yeah. Off the back of that, if you think of one career highlight?
Being the CEO of the Warriors, for sure. Absolutely. No doubt in my mind.
OK. Sorry to bring it down. Biggest regret, and I've just had it in my ear, was it in fact letting me go? Come on, crowd, what do you reckon? Back me up here. Yeah? Nah, biggest regret.
Probably during that COVID year, it was signing an agreement that the family should come a month later. That was the biggest broken heart moment I've had in my career.
Yeah, the toughest.
And they weren't allowed in. That's hence why.
Yeah.
So should never have let the players go. But anyway.
Okay. Hey, that's all behind us now. Let's pick this back up, crowd. Come on now. Cam, I just want to talk about, I guess, as a CEO in the position you sit in with the club, right? Now, the club is on a crazy record of, like you've just said, another sold-out home game. I think that is, I've written this down, 31 of 37 home games sold out, OK? Going back to 2023. Now, from a performance line for you, what's next? You own bars, the brand's in a strong position, you're selling out whether the result's warranted or not. Where to next for you?
It's very clear. It's a premiership. We're investing so much time and effort and money into pathways development and so on, and we all understand and appreciate what that can do for our footy club, but we've got to start winning these trophies that are on offer. And we've done well with the Harold Matts team winning for 2 years, the New South Wales Cup team winning last year. It's, we've got to elevate that now and win the NRL Premiership and both the NRLW as well as the men. So that's where we're heading and that's what we want. And I know everyone around the club, believes in that.
Now, when you're talking about coaching, that's something you love the game of rugby league. You're often there in the ears of the coaches and so on because you've played the game before.
Oh, yeah. High level.
At what level?
High level.
Here we go.
Tell us.
No. I just used to run around the bush. Very fast game back in those days, Monty.
Oh, yes.
It's slowed down a lot.
I know what you mean.
Since then, there's no bunkers, so we got away with a lot.
OK.
Very good.
Now, just while you're on screen with that jacket, let's give this the plug it deserves, OK? Red hot jacket. I can see our audience licking their lips over this. Is this going to be available to market, or what?
This will be available in May. It was given to me on Friday, and I said I'd wear it tonight with this massive audience you've got.
Yes.
And the viewership that you're going to have today is just the PR we'll get around this. But, Dynasty, great brand, Kim Searle, all the team putting it together. This will sell like hotcakes. So if you can get your order in,
there you go.
Get it in, because they won't last long, and you can wear this to the grand final in October. It'll be a little bit chilly in the weather while we're lifting that trophy.
Jeez, I can tell you can see why you're a CEO, brother. Holy heckers. Let's just quickly touch on one of the biggest challenges. You just mentioned it briefly around COVID and an empty promise you made. But once you sort of navigated the club through that period and brought us home, okay, I heard a little yarn around this in particular, and this is how savvy you are. I was a part of that game, and it was a special time, like for the club to come home. We ended up playing the Tigers that week, and we got up, great day, celebrated in style. Can you elaborate on this yarn around it was potentially meant to be against someone else?
Yeah. You've done your homework. Here
we go.
Homework here, and he did.
Oh, he's good.
The training shed too.
Here we go.
Yeah, so when we were coming back, obviously it was a bit of a touch and go time with the flights, with access into New Zealand, but more importantly, getting back out. And whoever we're going to play here, we're always going to sell the house was going to be full. However, there was Penrith Panthers was on the draw that the NRL had highlighted, and I just sort of, thought about it for about 6 seconds and just went, I don't think that's going to be the right team to play when we go back, because in every way possible we needed to win everywhere we could when we come back here. And so I said to the NRL at the time, I'd been getting some intel from the New Zealand government that, the borders are a little bit shaky, there's still a little bit of risk, can we push it back a few more weeks? And we did so, and it was the 3rd or 4th of July where we returned, and the West Tigers were the recipients of the airline tickets. And
I just want to say, from a player, thank you very much, brother. All right, thank you. Hey, how about that for a yarn? Time for a quick break, team, but on the other side, we're going to dive into a bit of Vegas and one player in particular, Setu 2. See you shortly.
Yes, Sets.
Right wing for the Dragons, a former Warrior. Flanagan and Atkinson on the sewer. Daisy's offload. What a play! Holmes got it away, and it is Setu, playing his first game in first grade at 27. This is one of the great stories of Vegas.
Opening round in Vegas, but the story of the weekend, Monts, a former member of our club, Setu 2, talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, no more deserving in terms of someone who just really lives and breathes gratitude. That's him, and it's because of his, storied past career, so much adversity to finally get there at the age of 27. He was just so loved around the club. There's a big energy in terms of the culture he has, the big smile, and and what he's been able to change now is there's no rocks and diamonds, there's more diamonds.
Yeah.
And, he almost went as viral as you. He's been doing the rounds, mate. You've been loving what you've seen on sets?
Special story, this kid, but there's the salary cap working its way through the club.
Yeah, well,
opportunities to go elsewhere. Went with our blessing because it was the right thing for him and his family. We've got heaps of outside backs at the moment that were just a bit ahead of him. So, but it was great to see him score that try. Imagine making your debut in Las Vegas.
Yeah, the scenes from over there were unreal. And you see family members making that trip, it becomes a lifetime memory. Your debut is already special, but making it in a place like Vegas and scoring on debut, I couldn't imagine he's going to be forgetting that anytime soon. But the games that were played over the weekend, a great way to promote our game over there. There's been question marks around the NRL taking this concept over there and what are we actually getting out of it. But as far as that goes, I feel like this is probably the first year that, for a couple of reasons, that maybe there has been some buy-in. Maybe we are starting to see something a little bit more out of it. And obviously the product, we saw 2 tightly contested games where your marquee players in the competition are standing up and executing for their teams. And secondly, some of the personalities involved throughout the week. You got a Matty John sitting down with Dana White, which is quite a buzz for me to see. You got Megan O'Leary and someone else who's a media personality over there, part of the Fox coverage. So little wins like that can only be beneficial for our game, and hopefully we start to see some sort of kickback in some sort of way. But I do just want to move on quickly because, Cam, I want to come to you. You just touched on it around the salary cap and these players leaving with our blessing, or your blessing and the club's blessing, right? I reckon it's a good chance for us to talk about Mitch Barnett and how that situation's unfolded, because watching you handle that, watching the club come out and support that, it's clearly an area you guys value.
Oh, you have to, mate. look, Mitch and Claire and their family, the best spot for them in the future is to be home. And, you know, Mitch needs to have everything right for him to play his best footy. And when he does play his best footy, he's just a huge asset. So since he's been here, he's, you know, become a father again and married, and he's really grown into a leader of our footy club. But there's no negotiable on the fact that his family need to come first in this situation. He'll leave this club with a legacy I think is equal to your Kevin Campions and the likes
100%.
with their style, and that'll flow on for years to come, because, you know, your Dimitriks and your Leckers and your Jacob Labans have been able to play the bloke of his level, his calibre. And but as a footy club, you can do a lot, as you and I know through our history, around the departure of players and why and how and so on. But there are just non-negotiables, and that's family.
Camo, there's only one way to solve it, but in terms, before you come to that decision, whether it be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever it is, did he come to you in person? Was it over the phone? And how did you sulk, or how did you feel like?
How did you deal with
like that's a Kevin Campion 2.0 version, and so crucial for this team, for this club.
Yeah, so I'm going to be brutally honest in how this unfolded. It's been in the wings for about a month, just through discussions with Mitch, and that's how it unfolds when you've got a relationship with your players to the point where the door's open, they can come in and talk to you about this really personal and private stuff, and they trust you with that, and that's really important to our culture, and Webby likewise. And look, when I said to him, you need to make a call, you know, we need to bring this to a head one way or another, and he emotionally made the phone call to myself and Webby, and went and saw Webby and rang me, and he was so upset. Like, he's a big tough bastard, but I've never sat in the team room, and you boys have been there a lot through these things, and when he spoke to the players last week, you know, what he said will never leave that room, but I can assure you how he said it was a heartbroken man, but a man that stood tall for his family, and that's what Barney's about, and proud of that.
Yeah, it's a special message to hear. But the idea around trying to replace Barnes, okay, I don't think that's achievable. No. You know, just through, like we've touched on, the calibre of player he is. But it's been pretty well publicised. You do expect something in return. Is that always been a part of the plan? Is that how you start moving the pieces in the background when something like this falls on your lap?
Because the Adam and Fish was nice. Something similar.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I think patience is the best thing here. You know, unless someone is, you know, offered up to us in terms of a trade or a transaction player, you know, we might just sit on the fence and, you know, look at the market and how it unfolds, because we all know it can change quite rapidly and quick. And look, you know, we learnt that through the Adam Fanua Blake. We went hard, we went fast, we went like this, we're not moving, we're doing this and doing that. At the end of the day, we let Adam go, and we ended up with Fish 3 months later. Yeah. With Barney, it's been absolutely clear to him and his agent from the outset that wherever you go, we expect compensation. Yep. And what that looks like and who that is, we don't know yet. We've had a few clubs contact us, but again, it's playing that patient game. Whoever we bring in this club's got to add value, not problems, and they've got to connect with Webby. That's just how it works. And well, so time will tell. I do want to give you as a wrap, because our audience here and our audience at home, like, guys, this can be a real rarity in high-performing departments and clubs. Like, I'm glad you touched on it and how we handled my exit at the club. All right, guys, but I reckon you handled it really wrong.
Yeah, it takes two to tango for sure. But I just think that transparency is such a crucial part. And when people ask me about the club and how we're going to go this year, it's like, the way I look at it, my honest answer for everyone at home, results aside, like, an extra year, more time underneath guys like Cam, guys like Webby, we are in a better position than what we were previously, all right? So let's hold on to that, and just, really appreciate your honesty and your vulnerability around that, boss man. Mons, Mount Smart this weekend quickly, okay? Off the back of hearing the tone in this messaging, okay, I know Barnes is questionable, you know, he's here or there. We don't need to go into team selection, but you got to expect the boys to run out red hot if we're hearing this sort of messaging from Barnes in the team room only a couple of days ago.
Absolutely. You're talking about, you know, being the last page or the last chapter or last sort of dance with someone like that who's, you know, to be a big boss for the club. But when you think about seeing in the trial period, when you see Dimitri Mongo coming off the back fence and what he was able to do, unfortunately got a little bit injured, and then it's an opportunity for other people now to step up and to have a go. But Webby always says when it's a full house, it's a full crowd like it is out there, and they're very vocal, this lot, our supporters. is that you got to repay the love, you got to repay the favour, and you got to go out there and give them something to be proud about. So that's going to be no different this weekend.
Are we excited for Friday night, team? Okay, on that note, we're going to throw to a quick break. On the other side, I get to talk a little X's and O's up at the big screen as we prepare ourselves for the Roosters. See you shortly. Yes! Oh, my favourite segment of the show, the first of the season. And I just got to take a quick second because we got this thing sponsored, team. All right? Welcome aboard CRC. Make some noise for CRC. This is now known as a CRC quality moment. And first up, a player who is all too familiar with a few of these is none other than Sammy Walker. Now, Sammy Walker, he was wheeling and dealing in the second trial that I just happened to watch, right? And I'm watching this bloke run around, couple of try assists, a try, running the footy, breaking tackles. And I got a little like, you know, hang on, Sammy, like, what are you doing? This is usually mid-season form, finals form maybe, not pre-season form, okay? So, Warriors fans, here's a little bit of insight into maybe what we can see or expect come Friday night. Hopefully not all of it, but hey, roll the tape, let's go. First up here, Sammy Walker, halves in general at their best, obviously when they're in a flow state and they're running the footy, okay? Pause it here, yes. Now, Sammy Walker has the addition of a pretty handy player in Daly Cherry Evans, and through all Daly Cherry Evans' experience, I feel like what he best brings is a balanced field, okay? Now, the beneficiary of a balanced field, or a balanced attack in particular, is usually your other half. When you've got defenders having to worry about more individuals or key individuals, it certainly allows you to free up a little bit and play a little bit more eyes up what's in front of you. Now, this picture here is a shape that you would have seen plenty of times. Every team runs it, okay? I'm not giving away any state secrets by saying this, but this pass that Sammy Walker receives here, his job in the initial setup of this play is just to shovel it onto Daly Cherry Evans, okay? But what he ends up doing, because the pass is out in front of him, he reacts. He plays instinctively, and this is when he's at his best. Play it out. Here we go. You see a little triangle in the defensive line, okay? That is the halfback's dream. That is any ball-running half's dream to see step back, so we won't see that this weekend. What he does, play it out, pumps the ball. All right, pumps the ball to Daly, who becomes a decoy, a pretty good one at that, and then cuts off that right foot and slides on through. Let's look at this picture. That first picture there was like, wow, that's pretty elite. But it's actually this one here which got me even more worried because when you're previewing sides, all right, at home, I'll take you into the inner sanctum of a footy team, you're previewing key individuals, all right, and you're thinking around how do we best shut these key individuals down? Now, like I said, when you've got multiple, it's harder to do. When you've got a balanced attack, you just can't load up one side. All right, so the job defensively becomes even more important and more crucial. In this case, you've got James Tedesco and Daly Cherry Evans rolling out to one side. Now, I know where I'd be sending troops, okay? Anyone would, all right? So play this out. The scare here is if you get it wrong or you're late back, you lose the ruck, you've got players like Sam Walker that can just pick you apart. Because the picture he wants to see is numbers in the wrong places, defensive lines not set, and ruck speed, where he can get over that advantage line and not let the defence dictate to him. All right? So as you can see here, Sammy Walker does have an overlap. He's got a 4-on-3, short sides, less path of resistance. We cannot offer this up this week. Play it out. Look at the ball playing. Oh my gosh, I am a little too excited. It's only a Monday, but goddamn, I didn't even see that. Okay? I think we're going to get a better angle of it. Subtlety, soft. Defensively, I can picture us being a whole heap better, Monts. Okay? I know you're sitting there and you're already coming up with the answers in your head. Let our beautiful audience know what we've got to do this week if we want to shut this man down, because if we don't, she could be a very long night.
You mentioned triangles. You can't give them any cues. You've got to make sure that you've got that line that's connected. You've got to make sure your body language is good so that it's not going to pick on you. And then, obviously, with that, it's about comms. It's nominating who they are when they've got the ball and also what shape that they're going to come to the line with.
Yeah. Coverage this week, team, starts at 7 p.m, OK? And I know that because I'm going to be on it, baby. All right? We're going to have some fun Friday night and build in lovely into our very first hit out. But an exciting challenge for us first up. Let's get into another big part of our show, guys. The Ford fan question. It's back. Let's go, Cam. Come on now. Come on. All right. Oh, goody to start. Cam, I'm going to come at you with this. Are the NRL doing too much bringing in new rules so often?
Well, I'll ask you boys the question.
What? Okay.
At the end of
Correct.
2025 footy season, after 26 rounds in the final, grand final, what was wrong with the game?
Nothing.
What do we have to change?
Nah, nothing. I wouldn't have changed a thing. Have we just answered it?
Mic drop, baby.
Yeah, we just
That's a mic drop.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely right. Like,
Yeah.
I think our game's been a wonderful product for a long time now, but especially around 26 last year and the way it's going. That final series with the Broncos and everything else, the way it's been played,
Yeah.
untouchable.
I mean, usually when they bring in a rule change, I don't know how you guys feel, but usually when they bring in a rule change, it's based around player welfare. But I always have maintained this, and Monty, I know you'll back me up on this. We play a contact sport.
Yes.
All right? You know the risk. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, yeah, there already are rules in place that do protect us pretty well. You know, like they've made some great strides. Like, but yeah, some of the ones I'm starting to think about now, the 6 again, like I didn't think anything was wrong with it.
Yeah.
Interchanges, I don't mind the interchange one where you do have that option if something outside of your control does happen.
Yep.
You know, you can sort of got a little bit more to play with. But if I was to think back around player welfare, and I'm looking at you, Mont, sort of a little sparkle in your eye. I don't know if they should have changed this one, Mont. What do you reckon? Hang on,
Oh, I love it.
shoulder charges.
Ben Matalino special.
Yeah.
One of the best. Shoulder of doom, Sonny Bull. Oh, there it is. Sonny Bull Williams. You could change momentum in a game in a
For
second.
a single action.
Through an action like that. Not someone who can run 100 metres and score a try. Wasn't as flamboyant or had the most amount of X factor, but had some real commitment and courage toward the cause to try and change it.
Yeah.
And that's he would have been a fan of
Those
that.
my
couldn't they?
elbows. Those my elbows.
That bush footy, eh?
Oh, mate.
Hey?
It was the best. They used to call it the hellbow. What's the hellbow?
Oh, he's good.
Unreal. Damn, boys, time flies when you're having fun, eh? Before we wrap, though, guys, this is a special moment. Obviously, it's a big week for the club, all right? But it is an even bigger week for our special guest here, okay? Big Boss Man has a big celebration tomorrow. 50th birthday, all right? So, Cam, on behalf of Sky, the League Lounge, we want to thank you for your time. And I think on behalf of all Warriors fans in general, with the job you're doing at our club, we agree, crowd? Yeah, we're feeling that. It's been a real pleasure to have you on, mate, and I do mean that. So thank you for giving up your time and enjoy that birthday.
Will do. Thank you.
Hey, and go well
the
this
Waz.
Friday. Go the Waz. That is all we've got time for. I just do want to take a quick second, though, to thank our sponsors, because without them, this isn't possible. Now, Ford, you're a massive player in getting this show back on board, and I cannot thank you enough. CRC, thank you for coming on board. I cannot wait for the season. We're going to have some serious fun. And obviously, the crowd. You guys giving up your time to come in and have some fun with us, all right? All right? That is episode 1. Enjoy your footy this Friday. On the way out, how about we do a little happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear boss man. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Enjoy your footy, team.
Up the Waz!